Yeah, I mean, growing up in the '90s with the comedy that we had, it was just to me it was like a great era of stand up, and I
Yeah.
love the era we're into now. I mean, and that's the beautiful thing about comedy is it doesn't always age well because
Hmm.
it's for that moment, it's for that time period,
Right.
and and if you look at the Lenny Bruce,
Oh
even
yeah.
Will Rogers, what Lenny Bruce, Mort Saul, on and on, George Carlin. We need comedy. We need
Yeah.
comedians. They're the truth tellers, and they do
Yeah.
it through humor, just like you and just like Mikey, and that's how you could break through.
Yeah. I think that it's really, really important, especially right now, to have comedians. And I think, thoughtful comedians that are great storytellers, that are pushing the needle a bit. Because man, I wouldn't want to be a stand-up comedian now because everyone's so unbelievably sensitive, right? But
Yeah,
there's people out there that they just know, um, they're able to toe that line. Like they're able to push a little bit, but not too much, but yet they're hysterical. And I think it's a lot of the observational comedians are able to reflect back at a sort of the silliness that's going on now with, society being so sensitive. I mean, the thing is, I mean, I don't, one of the things that I really had to turn off in doing head fake was I had to go back to my old 80s self and just not worry about it, not worry about pissing people off. And one of the things, and I've been getting absolutely wonderful reviews, and I'm so blessed. But I got one review where the woman loved the story, loved the writing and everything, but was not happy with me because there was curse words in there. And and I was like, okay, I mean, I'll take that. I would never take them out because
right,
I'm
right.
trying to be as authentic as I can in capturing voice. But that's legitimate. I get it. If you're not someone who, it's not like I put on the front cover curse words inside, beware, right? So I mean, so I don't, I mean, arguably, if you're going out to see a comedian, you probably have more of a thick skin than someone who's maybe picking up a book that is, that's going to sit home and spend all that time reading. But I do think that comedians now that are able to break through and not be, canceled, and are funny and pushing the envelope. I mean, that's some crazy skill right there.
Yeah, for sure. Because they're maneuvering through it and they're figuring it out, or they just take it on head on apologetically,
Right.
and and then become in a way uncancelable.
Right.
Um,
Right.
like a Dave Chappelle or somebody or Bill Burr, who are just kind of steamrolling
Right.
through it. This, whether you like them or not, they're just going to keep steamrolling through it that unapologetically.
Yeah,
And
I
then
wonder, Chappelle's so talented that it's insane, right? So maybe you just can't cancel someone that's so clearly, um not only so talented, but so has his finger on the pulse of things. You may like it, you may not like it, but you can't argue that the guy's not, uh he certainly understands what's going on.
Chappelle is Carlin and Pryor combined. Like
Right.
if he's like
Right.
the
Wow.
so he's the next level, like you
Yeah.
would expect in an evolution, so and again he got hit hard. They tried to cancel him. He said some
Yeah.
things that people didn't like, and what he do? He made another special about it.
Yeah.
He just
And and I don't like everything he does, but boy, I sure like most of what he does.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think too, if anybody, reads a book like this that is showing kind of a reality that of how these kids live and all that, and they, you don't think that those kids in real life would be cursing or
Oh
that
yeah.
they,
I
you know what I
mean,
mean? So it's kind of like,
and I pulled it way back.
yeah,
I pulled
yeah,
it way
exactly.
back,
Yeah,
because cursing is I mean, the word fuck, I mean that's almost punctuation for a
right.
lot of these
Exactly.
kids, right? So, and I pulled it back, but I never would pull it out because I think it's important to, for me, writing, especially dialogues, a lot about rhythm, right? And I want people to hear the rhythm of the dialogue when they're reading, right?
Right,
It's like
right.
music in that way. So that cursing is super, super important to put in there to help with that rhythm and that punctuation. And I've seen a lot of people really miss the mark on dialogue. And dialogue's not easy. I think dialogue, you have to hear it and you got to go back and you got to hear the distinctions between the characters